Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm planning with this Graceful Muse Paperie kit called Oh Hello Spring in my Recollections planner for the week of May 25th through the 31st of May, so the end of May. This kit was a champagne matte gold foiled kit and I don't have a lot of that, so I do try and use as much of the kit as possible, and hopefully you'll see that too. So here I am just putting down the bottom washi. I do mess up the longer strip. I laid it down a bit wonky, but this paper is a really nice kind of smooth matte paper. I'm not sure if it's premium, but it did come up quite, easily, I say. And so I was able to pick it up. So for the date covers, these date covers are actually wide enough that I don't need to add any washi. It covers both the day of the week and the number, so I was really pleased about that, so I could just lay them down. They were a bit wider than normal date covers, so actually they kind of almost touch each other, leaving just a small slither of space between. So I thought that was quite interesting. And like I said, I don't have a lot of matte champagne gold foil in my collection, so I did bring in some date dots, but I bought in the very dainty ones from Recollections Paperie. So they are tiny. I think they're actually called tiny date dots. And I just pulled them out to add the days of the week, and I realized that in the past 2 weeks I haven't actually put any date numbers down, so I was a bit like, oh, I couldn't remember what the date was, and then I remembered that this is the last week of May, and actually June started on the 1st, so I knew it was the last day. So these are tiny little date dots. They're on this kind of matte paper that's clear, so you don't get any of the glossy glare that you get from some foil stickers. So I really love these date dots, and I happen to have a full 6 months of them, so plenty to use in this week's spread. Moving on to the sidebar then, I did want to colour block this week. So I knew I wanted to use the quote sticker. There are 8 full boxes, so I knew I wanted to use the quote. And I decided that I did want to pull in my foiled months of the year as well. So because I was colour blocking, I knew I wanted green on Thursday. So I wanted to kind of bring in green for the sidebar. Unfortunately, that didn't work out because the Monday through Sunday sticker was pink. And so I decided to just do a whole kind of use all the colours, but I did start with a quarter box at the top that was green to cover up the May, and then grabbed my diamond print designs months of the year in gold foil, and it is in, and again they diamond print designs uses that matte clear paper as well, same as Recollections Paperie, which I love. So I pull in the May sticker, which is obviously a lot brighter than the foil in the kit, but because it's up there and it's not too noticeable. So I pull in all of the colours, try and equal all the colours, and pulled in the 2 habit trackers along with the Monday through Sunday box. And this kit did come with extended washi as well, so I put that at the bottom. There is a space that's left, and I was going to save that for a half box, but I wasn't sure which half box I would need. So I saved that for last, and you'll see that at the very end of the video. So while I'm just finishing that off, just drop me a comment down below and tell me how you are. What have you been up to? How has things changed as lockdowns changed? I'm intrigued. I'm fascinated to know, and I hope you give this channel a subscribe as well. I'm so close to my next giveaway at 200 subscribers, so yeah, please click that button. Okay, so setting up the day by day then. I started laying down the headers for my colour blocking. So green was on Thursday, and I kind of ombre'd out. So pale purple was on either side, so on Friday and Wednesday. Then pink on Tuesday and Saturday, and then finally the dark purple on Monday and Sunday. I did think that I wanted to grab the headers from the sidebar to add a fourth header to each colour, but then I realised that I wouldn't have enough anyway, so I decided just to put the headers back, although I managed to somehow switch the purple ones. So yeah, so that was good. I did also add the full boxes, and I tried to kind of colour match as best as possible. It wasn't super easy to do that with this, but I wanted to spread out the florals, and actually it came out really, really pretty. I also was going to scatter my boxes this week, seeing as I've fallen in love with that, that I wasn't expecting. So yeah, so I also add the full boxes into as when I add the headers as well. So to increase the colour blocking even more, I then used the ombre full heart checklist. I didn't cut these down this week because there were so few boxes. There was 8 quarter boxes and 8 half boxes. I decided to use the full ombre checklist, and actually I really love how it came out in the end. So I was able to add more things that I did, and not squeeze everything. I don't know. Yeah, I just really liked it. So each day has its own color ombre box, which means I had one green ombre checklist left over. So yeah, so I'm adding those in now, spreading them about the page so that they kind of, I don't know, they all follow the similar pattern actually. They're all underneath the full box, which I didn't realize until just now. But anyway, so moving into the day by day then. On Monday, I start filling in the checklist first. So I did have a lie-in, and I decided to use the charging icon from the icon sheet, which I just thought was kind of super cute. I did pull in this Simply Gilded pen, but unfortunately that one that I had, that was from last year, so it kind of running out of ink. So I grabbed one from this year, and it just works a lot smoother. And then I wrote, we had pancakes. I also filmed this day, and Mark, my husband, and we spent a lot of time watching Man Lab, which is a James. Oh, what's his name? Oh, the guy from Top Gear. Oh, I'm so sorry. If you know it, in the comments. Um, we watched Man Lab with him, and so I used a little house to mark that. In the next section, then I added a quarter box, the purple one, and used a heart icon from the sheet to mark my Plan With Me went live that day, so uploaded, so it'll be in the cards above. And then I also used a patterned header from the kit, which solved my problem from earlier, and then a half box with a laptop sticker to mark that my husband and I also watched Vox Machina on YouTube. On Tuesday, then, the first thing that I put up is that my Planet Flip Through video went live. Again, it'll be in the cards above. And then I used split up with a floral header. I mean, this layout's the same for every day, so I know it's a bit boring. But yeah, and then a full box and then a half box. I used a little briefcase sticker to mark that I worked on my productivity boot camp. So I knew this was like the last week that it was free. So I really wanted to get as much out of it as possible. So I spent a good chunk of time this day sort of going through that. In the checklist then I marked that I filmed. I also meal planned. I and cleaned my kitchen, which looks beautiful. And then I watched some more Vox Machina with Mark, and it was a Q&A session, so I added that. I added the little icon, the fork and spoon icon from the icon sheet to mark the meal planning. On Wednesday, I watched YouTube. I also did some gardening, and the gardening, I just use anything that's like the paw print because I don't actually have a dog or a cat, even though we're kind of centimeters away from getting a kitten at some point, but we'll see. And then I also did some lunch prep. I had a nap, which was lovely, and so I used the asterisk to mark that. And then I fell down the YouTube scrapbook hole, and it was joyous. I loved it. I used to scrapbook like when I was a teenager, and I've got all these scrapbooks. I even do an enrichment class at my school on scrapbooking, which if you've seen any of my videos pre-lockdown, you'll probably discover. But yeah, and I just fell into this hole, and I loved it. So yeah, so I used the quarter box to mark that it was my Swim World Zoom meeting. I used the little dumbbell symbol for that, and then that afternoon and evening, that evening actually, I just started making scrapbooks. So there was mini album tutorials, and I was just falling in love. And I actually made a little mini album for my trip that I made in January to Cambridge. There is a plan with me for that as well, so I'll pop that up there in the cards if you wanted to check out how my trip to Cambridge went. And then yeah, maybe I'll do a flip through of my scrapbook as well, because I'll have to check with my girlfriends, but we'll see. And yeah, it's just super exciting. Just loved this little kind of hole I went into. So on Thursday, the first thing that I marked was that we had a barbecue that evening, because pretty much all day Thursday I was scrapbooking. So I was making this little mini album. I was cutting all the papers. I used my Planner Society kits to do that, and I had all my photos printed. I just get my photos printed every month with an app called Freeprint. You just pay postage and you get 45 free 6x4 photos. So I always print loads of photos every month. So I had all the photos printed, and I just made a scrapbook. Yeah. On Thursdays, as you may know, it is Famalam time. So I used the foiled Family Time script sticker from the kit with the little floral deco piece as well, just so to cover those first two hearts on the checkbox. And then underneath, I wrote the three things that we did, which was play tension. We did a tray, and we played some pointless as well, which was super fun. It was very chilled out that night, which is lovely. On Friday then, the first thing that I did was to film, and then my sister came over and hung out on the drive, so I used the car icon and wrote "Hey sis." And then I had to study for the D&D session that we were having that evening, so the Frozen Sick campaign, to make sure I was really up to date with what was happening and kind of have a better experience. I then had to tidy the table because I'd been scrapbooking on the dining room table, and we were going to use that for D&D. So I had to make sure that everything was cleared off there and it was all neat and tidied and packed away, which was what I did. My memory spread also went up that morning, that day. So again, it'll be in the cards if you wanted to check that out, which one that one it was. And so I used in the half box, I used the coffee sticker to mark D&D with Josh. I use the coffee sticker because actually when I'm DMing, I don't really want to be drinking alcohol because I want to know what on earth's going on. So I did drink some coffee late at night, which meant I didn't really sleep very well on Friday night, but it was worth it because we had a really good session. On Saturday, I fell into a Facebook hole. So the videos on Facebook, I fell down the Graham Norton clips Facebook hole. It happens to me quite occasionally. Like I'll be on YouTube and I'll just watch hours and hours of just like Graham Norton clips, and I don't know what it is. I love watching it live. I love watching it on a Friday night, and yeah, I kind of miss it. I don't know if it's on. I think it is on, but I haven't watched any TV in just forever. So, yeah, fell down there. And again, I was scrapbooking all day. So I'd packed all my things away and then got them all out again on the Saturday, and just finished off my scrapbook. And I actually finished it. I'm so proud of myself because I can be one of these people that will start a project and then never get around to finishing it. And I had time this week, so I was really, really pleased and managed to actually finish the album. So I'm super chuffed. Again, I was watching Scrapbook YouTube. As I was scrapbooking, there was this one channel in particular. I'll link it down below. But yeah, I loved it. And then we made some caramel popcorn. Well, my husband made some caramel popcorn, and we watched the Spider-Man Far From Home movie, which um, my son had been dying to see, and we wanted to see it as well because we've watched all of the Marvel movies, and that was the last one that we hadn't seen to kind of finish off. What is it, Phase 3 or something? So yeah, so we watched that, and it was really good, and it reminded me of all the fab Marvel movies and how much I think I want to go back and watch them all, but I don't know. We'll see. On Sunday, then, I had to do some work. I had to finish off a year 7 workbook. I washed my hair. We watched Shazam, me and my son, and we ordered pizza. My husband had a nap at this point, so it was just like, okay, we'll just fend for ourselves. And we watched a bit of Dude Perfect as well. My mum came round, so I marked that in the quarter box. And then in the evening, Sunday evening, using the coffee cup, I marked D&D with the cousins. I don't think I actually had coffee that time. I might have just had tea. But I kind of matched the other D&D sessions, so I like the idea of using the coffee cup. So that was my week, guys. I love this kit. It's so pretty and so delicate, which is just, really nice kind of May florals. And yeah, trying to get in a nice foil shot for you there. And then as I was going through the leftover sheets, I realised that I had loads of stickers that I could have used. So I popped the half box that I had left on the side and wrote that it was half term, because actually this was I didn't have to do any schoolwork this week or had any Zoom meetings with Team Buy, in case you noticed, because it was half term. And I was going through this and I was like, oh, there's loads of stickers on this one page that I haven't used. So I put the weekend banner down in the bottom washi. And then these little scallop corners actually fit perfectly because I got paid on a pink day and a green day. So I just popped those in where it kind of fit, really. I put them on the full box, and it just worked out really nice. And then last one I had was work, and I was like, well, I didn't do any work this week, and then I realised that I did. I did my year 7 workbook on Sunday morning, so I popped that on the Sunday. So yeah, so that's all I had left is some scripts. They're quite large scripts, so I didn't feel like they fit in anywhere, and just had a couple of headers, some icons, and the last couple of glitters headers left. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.